Hello online crew, how are we today? So is your Facebook looking a little different today? Has anyone gone to their phone and seen some updates and seen some changes? If not, perhaps open your eyes a little bit more and have a look around because things are changing. So the reason for that is right now there's the Facebook F8 Developers Conference going on, and this is where they start to roll out. Hey Sandrine, how are you? Hello Crystal. This is where they start to roll out a lot of the changes for Facebook. So some of them are happening now and some of them will be happening over sort of the next couple of months. Hey Catherine, good to see you on. Hello Rob, hello Olive. How are you? No worries Olive, good to see you on. So things are changing guys, and quite seriously in relation to changes for how Facebook sort of operates and looks and feels. And they're saying, what's coming out of the developers conference, they are saying that this is one of the biggest overhauls in Facebook that they've ever had in the lifetime of Facebook. Hey Billy, yeah, phone is totally different. So things are going to be rolling out, like some you might be able to see already, and others are coming, you know, over the next couple of months. So I just want to highlight some key ones for you, so you can be aware of that and what's coming, because this is the stuff that you need to be aware of, guys. This is how you need to move your marketing and social media activities with what Facebook is rolling out and where its priorities are. Olive, actually, yes, now that you've said that, I see different. And yeah, you may just go to your Facebook as normal and not sort of see it until you start, you know, how you going, Michelle? Until you start sort of playing around. But I did warn you, what was it, about a fortnight ago, keep your eyes and ears open to what's coming, because when this is the annual conference for Facebook every year. It's called the Developers Conference. So they do a lot of planning leading up to this conference. When they have the conference is when they, hey Joanne, lovely to see you jump on. Is when they actually affect changes like immediately and then implement others, you know, moving forward. So when I picked up my phone this morning and like learning a few things and looking around, there are definitely things that look a little bit different. So just play around, have a little look-see at some of the things that look a little bit different, and, you know, you become aware of some of the things that are already being implemented. Now, there's one that I want to highlight, at the moment through, I guess, awareness of one of the changes to be aware of is a great way for you to move. But if you, oh, sorry, good reminder, Sean. I said fortnight again, didn't I? So Sean's doing my Australian interpretation for you guys that don't know what the word fortnight is. It means 2 weeks. 14 days. See, I don't even notice that I say it, Sean, because it's just an Australian term when we say fortnight. But thank you, Sean. It means 2 weeks in Australia. I forget that you guys on other parts of the world don't use the word fortnight. It's a game to most people. Hey, Julie. Hey, Judy and Bob. Wishing you an amazing day as well, guys. Hey, Lynn, how are you? You noticed it on your phone. So now is the time to be watching. Now is the time to embrace the change. Now is the time to, oh, you use fortnight. It's for other people that don't use fortnight. Yeah, it's just weird. Fortnight is just a normal word in our language in Australia, but I've come to realise that mainly, is it the States? Mainly people in the States don't use the word fortnight. So I'll just have to get used to using the word 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, or 14 days. Yeah, most people think it's the game, Sandrine. So we just want to have our eyes open to these changes. Now, there's one particular change that they're going to give a huge emphasis on, which is awesome, and it's good if you're already there. If you're not already there though, like I just want to highlight one of these particular areas, because if you move into this area too soon and you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to be able to do it properly, capitalize on it properly, or get the momentum from it that Facebook is giving if you set it up all wrong. So I'll tell you what that is, you know, in a moment. So it's news to you, Crystal. Is it that fortnight equals 2 weeks? Never heard of the word fortnight before? So there you go. You've been educated today. Fortnight in Australia means 2 weeks. So in the last couple of days, Facebook has basically entered a brand new era. There's probably only been about they're saying there's only in the history of Facebook, which has been, hey Sahara, how are you? It's been like about, I think Facebook's 15 years old or thereabouts. There's only really been 4 massive changes to the, like really big changes, you know, to the platform. So what they're saying, these changes that are happening here and now, is basically I think they're, you know, don't quote me, I could be wrong, but I think they're saying it's like the 5th biggest major change to the platform moving forward. Some of that you will be aware of, and I've alluded to before that it's moving into encrypted messaging. So Messenger, encrypted messages that can't be tracked, privacy, those kind of things is where Facebook is moving, and also things like Facebook stories. Hey Tina, hope you're well. Facebook stories. So what they call, what's the word for it? Hey Boyd, good to see you on. Is it ethereal? Is that the name for it? Which just means things that don't stick around for a long time. They're short-lived, they're micro content. So basically Facebook stories. So some of those you're already aware of. You may not be aware to the depth of the changes. I'm not even aware of the you know, the depth of the changes. Those of you in online crew coaching, my leaders, I'm going to be keeping you abreast of these changes and what's coming and what I'm hearing and what I'm learning from the gurus to keep you guys up to speed on a regular basis. Hey Julie, good to see you jump on. So before I get into the one that I want to explain a little bit more, I probably should introduce myself. If there's anyone new to this live, I've just completely forgotten about that. But if we have not met before, my name is Helen Martin. I'm your online crew captain. So we have the most awesome online crew community here of home-based business owners, entrepreneurs, network marketers, direct sellers, those in MLM, who are learning to leverage, you know, social media and the online world to build their business. So hey Edith, what we don't want to do is to chase anybody, you know, to buy anything of us or to join us in our business. We truly want to attract people to us by using online, modern attraction marketing type strategies. So that's what I'm teaching here, and that's what we're learning to do here, so we can run our business, you know, basically from anywhere. And when we do, we're going to get on the SS Martin and all party it up together. So those of you that are coming with me on the SS Martin, put the word me. Oh, I'm not allowed to say that. Gee, that's hard. If you guys have been watching my lives the last week, you'll know that there's been changes to this thing called engagement baiting. And we're not allowed to say things like put the word X down below or, you know, comment below. So I've just said it. I've just stuffed myself up again. So it's very hard to get out of the habit, but we're not meant to tell you to put comments, you know, down there. So yeah, slip up on my part. It's going to take quite a while. I'm not sure if any of you are experiencing this, but it's going to take quite a while to undo the language that we've all learned to try to get engagement and interaction, you know, strategies on Facebook Lives. And now we hey Kate, how are you? Now we're going to have to undo our language, which is not an easy thing to do. So yeah, I just stuffed up my live, but not to worry. So that's what we are here to do. So welcome. We have no worries, Olive. We have the palm tree emoji as the mascot for this page. We have the fish emoji as a representation of my free Facebook group, which is called Social Media Strategies for Home Business Owners. Any of you are welcome to join that completely for free. I have all sorts of training videos in there, particularly about Facebook stories. If you don't know much about Facebook stories, yes, Sean, I've just killed my organic reach. Oh, well, you live and learn. Just going to take a while to not say the things that I've said for a long time. So just, you know, if I'm filling any of you in there, we're not allowed to use certain words. Go back to one of my videos of last week to learn about the engagement baiting restrictions if you're not sure what I'm talking about. So yes, And now I've forgotten what I've said, so I'll just move on. So the purpose and some of the emphasis of what they're saying at the developers conference is stuff that we've already heard leading up to, which is like the encrypted network, messaging, privacy, Facebook stories, micro content that only sticks around for 24 hours like Facebook stories is. But the other one that is one to really take interest of and notice of and embrace, but I heed this with a warning, which I'll get to in a moment, is their focus on, hey Alita, focus on Facebook groups. So what's come out of this conference is that they want to favor groups, small groups, not huge groups, small groups. So the purpose around this is the whole intimacy and privacy issue. So it's very congruent with what they're saying, have been saying around privacy and having real, genuine interaction and engagement around a community of people like in a Facebook group. I don't know if you've gone to go to a group today, but in Facebook, it looks completely different already. There are changes happening here and now with the way we look at groups, see groups, the exposure that they're going to give groups, the features that they're going to give groups. So is groups somewhere where you're at? Or is it somewhere that you haven't explored before for your community, for your online journey, for your focus, whatever that is? So I just want to show you, this is my old phone. So it doesn't quite look the same as my new phone, but the groups feature, see that one there? Oops, that one there. It came, it went, it's come back. So to access your groups, you can go to that icon there. So some of you may had that back, but it was there, it went, and then it came back. And now have a look at, I've got to get out of the light. See how it's looking now where it says your groups. And they're sitting, so that's my social media group. That's a community I'm connected to. That's my coaching group. So it's sitting right up the top there, your groups. So they're giving more emphasis to groups, how you see groups, how you visually get to groups, putting it in front of your face, more like that. There's changes happening now with the emphasis towards group, and it looks different right now. There are changes happening right now. So the warning that I want to heed with this is a couple of things. You want to maximize what Facebook is putting in front of you and embrace it immediately. The changes that happen and things that they bring out and rolling out now, you want to embrace them immediately. When you do, don't be fooled. Facebook is tracking everything that you do, the features that you use, the things that you embrace, the things that you avoid, and they will always give organic reach favoritism to those that embrace the changes the quickest. So this leads us to groups. Groups is a wonderful thing, but unless you have a purpose for a group, you have a need for creating a sense of community around a group, you know how to work a group, you know how to set up a group, you know how to launch a group, you know how to create engagement and interaction in a group, don't do a group. So this is, what's the wording? So the 3 focus areas that have come out of this developers conference: messaging. We already know that. We talked about that a little bit, about the encrypted networks and their huge emphasis on Messenger. The second one was small groups. So that's the second area of focus. And the third thing, so there's lots of things and lots of changes. I'm only just touching the surface with some of the things that are going to be coming out and rolling out. Those in my coaching community, I'll keep you abreast more than I will the people here. And the stories format, which, I've talked about quite a lot, the stories format, and why you need to be there and why you need to be embracing it and the purpose of using it and, all the features and those kind of things. So small groups is a focus area. This has come from wording in the conference, that this is an area of focus. So you can use groups hugely to your advantage. And it gives you the advantage to create, create communities. and around like-minded people with, they want to be there for, a common goal, and that you can really embrace building relationships, interaction, engagement, and groups are going to be given priority. So do you want to be moving into the area of groups? I would say you do. They're saying it here and now. They're going to give it priority. They've already made changes that visually, I just showed you, visually it looks different already. They're putting it right up there. Your groups, here they are. We want you to look at them. We want you to use them, etc. But it's not something I can go into detail in this live, but I do want to warn you, there are a lot of people that set up groups that have got dead groups. There are a lot of people that set up groups that don't really know how to launch a group properly, set up a group properly. Even the type of group that you should set up, and having, if you want some kind of training, like how you put that in the units on the side and things like that. There's a lot more to groups than you just going, oh, I've heard groups is a good idea. I've heard Facebook say that this is a priority area in one of their sweeping changes at the F8 Facebook Developers Conference. I'm going to create a group. Please do not go out and create a group just because you've heard it's a really good idea and Facebook's going to favor it. So for those, need to catch up on the conference. So there's lots of updates coming out of the F8 Facebook conference, and obviously you're going to see changes happening on your phone. They're already happening today. If you go and look back at your phone today, if you're on it now, go and have a little play around, push the button at the bottom, have a look at your groups, have a look visually. Like I noticed this morning, is it on this one? This is my old phone, so it may not be. Oh no, this is my old phone, so I haven't got it here. So thank you for dropping that link, Sean. For those of you that want help with groups, all about groups, setting up a group, the purpose of a group, and you want the know before you go and set up a group, Sean's just dropped the link for me. Join my coaching community, because next week I'm doing a boot camp on groups. 3 days. The details are on the link. So it's helenmartinonline.com/groups. Just plug that into Google, join my coaching community. You can get in for $1. You can get out after the boot camp. You don't have to stay, if you really want, but there's a $1 trial for 3 days. Have the boot camp, learn all about groups and how to set them up, how to launch them, the purpose of it, whether you even need one now if you've got a dead group, how do you resurrect a group, like everything groups. I would rather you have all the information up front before you delve into groups, because the last thing you want, hi Michael, is to set up a group and it ends up being a dead group with no engagement or interaction, and that's a reflection on you and your business. Does that make sense to you guys? So it's really important. This is a priority area. Facebook have said from the conference that they are going to favor. But if you have not set up a group properly, if you don't know how to run a group, if you don't know how to launch a group, if you don't really know the purpose of your group, please don't set up a group just for the sake of setting up a group, because Facebook says it's a priority area. It'll do you more damage than good. You need to set it up properly with all the right strategies behind it and all the right setup behind it to really make it work. So next week, I'm doing a 3-day boot camp just on groups. But for the whole month of May, anybody that gets into that boot camp, you actually get access, after the trial period for the full month. And I'm going to keep you updated in the coaching community of a lot of the changes that I'm hearing and researching from the F8 Developers Conference. So I'm going to keep you guys updated in the coaching community more than I am sort of here. So as I see things and hear things, or I need to warn you about things, I'm going to drop it in my coaching crew. So that's called Online Crew Coaching. It's just for my online crew leaders here that actually want practical help with building their business. So that's what that's for. So as Sean dropped the link, before, it's helenmartinonline.com/groups. Join my coaching crew for $1. Have a look around at all the training boot camps I've done previously. And if you like what you see, stay for the groups boot camp next week and stay for the month of May, where I can keep you updated. And if you don't want to stay at the end of May, then you can leave the group. But yeah, it's a bargain, guys. Boyd, probably the best info you will ever receive. Thank you, Boyd. Guess we better get more active in our group. So it's, hey Brady, how are you? Look forward to talking to you soon. So Sean's dropped the link. She has helped me like crazy. Thank you, Boyd. I presume you're talking about me. If you're talking about somebody else, I just embarrassed myself. Is it on this one? No, it's not on this one. So when I went to, so here, it's still showing, this is in my old phone. So it still looks normal sort of up here. But when I went to search something on my normal newsfeed on the phone that I'm on live with you now, I went to go to the search bar at the top and it's gone. It's just the blue Facebook wording. And it's like, where did this search sort of bar go? And it's just the question, the search icon now, and it's like, oh, okay, I'll just click over there. But there's all sorts of things rolling out that you're going to see differently. They've termed this as a totally new era of Facebook. So this is what I've been talking about regarding the news feed is not going to look as we know it today with a vertical swipe. They're currently testing. Slightly different on Android, is it, Sean? Thanks for that. And yeah, it would be age of your phone and type of phone. You'll get updates at different times and things may look a little bit different. So that's always a given. Android always get things a little bit later than iPhones as well. That's just the way it is. iPhones, for some reason, get the updates quicker than Android phones do. So we already know, because I told you about this last week, that Facebook is testing in the background. You can't see it publicly, but Facebook is testing in the background a horizontal feed instead of a vertical sort of feed, and it's integrating a normal news feed with how Facebook stories look. Like, seeing it being tested and the visuals of it, it's like, yeah, that's all a little bit weird. But that's what we're moving to. This is the biggest sweeping change, and it starts now. So, my warning to you, you need to keep your eyes and ears open of what's coming out of, I think the conference is probably over now. They're probably at their after party now or something like that, depending on time zones. But there's going to be a whole lot of things roll out from here. I'm sure you'll see lots of updates and talks about it and stuff like that. This is the kind of stuff that I like to keep up to date with and research to keep you guys updated. Those of you in my coaching community, I'll keep you updated as the month goes on with little things that I think you need to be aware of and updated of, but also groups. So please embrace groups. It is a priority area. They've told us that. There are features that groups are going to get that they don't have now. Organic reach is going to be greater than it has in the past. But if you don't set it up properly, if you don't have the right purpose for a group, if you don't have like a common goal, like there's just things that I need to explain to you regarding a group. Even if you've got a group, does it need reviving? Does it need resurrecting? Do you need to tweak some things, even change the format of it, to include different features? So if you want to know more about groups, how to embrace groups, how to launch a group, the purpose of a group, all those kind of things, then join us in my coaching community, Online Crew Coaching, next week. The dates and all the details are on that link that Sean dropped, but it's helenmartinonline.com/groups. You can get into the group for $1. Stay with us for May, get all the updates, not only on groups, but on other things that are going on. And if you want to stay, you can. And if you don't, you don't. After May. Hey, Heather, how are you? You made it live. Yep, you made it live and I'm about to go. Do you normally have that effect on people, Heather? So, yeah, messaging. Huge focus area, small groups, huge focus area, and the stories format, micro content, quick content, that's moving and disappears. That's what they're moving towards. So when you learn these things and you embrace them and the new features and stuff like that, it puts you ahead of the game, guys. So when you're learning stuff like this and you see new features and want to play around, utilize them. Like if you don't have a group yet, maybe you should think of one. Maybe now is the time. Because when you embrace things, when they tell you this is a priority area, you want to be ahead of the game. Ahead of the game. Okay, so if you need help with groups, if you want to know more about groups, then join us in my Online Crew Coaching community next week for the boot camp. But you can get in there now. Anybody's got any questions around that, send me a message. There's a blue button up above on this page that says send message, and I can answer whatever questions that you've got. So lots of more interesting things to come. Lots more information to come out. Watch your phone and how it's going to change with the rollout of, you know, various different changes. But as I said before, this is a new wave, totally new wave, and a new era of Facebook. That's how they're claiming it. This is the, I'm pretty sure it was referred to as the 5th biggest change in Facebook over 15 years. So this is not something to take lightly, not something you want to bury in your head in the sand about. You want to be moving in the areas and changing your marketing activities to where they're giving the focus. So at the moment, you know that's Facebook stories. Next, you know, groups is an area that you want to be there. And you may have already been playing in that field for quite a while, but watch the changes that are coming. And if you don't have a group that has a lot of engagement or interaction, maybe it's time to take that group a little bit more seriously. Maybe it's time to change your strategies. Maybe it's time to relaunch the group. That is quite possible. Kelly, you explain things so much better. I'm glad about that. I'm glad I'm not confusing you and, you know, trying to make it simpler, because this can get confusing. The language, a lot of the language that they're using coming out of the conference this is high level stuff that they're explaining, and it can get quite complicated, even in articles that you read and you read and it's like, what the hell does that even mean? So that's why you got me. Oh, hello, Helen. How are you? That's why you've got me to sort of learn it, try to dissect it, rack my brain around it, and then bring it to you in simple terms. So hopefully that's helpful. And hopefully what I brought to you today just gives you a little bit of insight as to maybe what you should be thinking about. So those of you in my online crew coaching community, you're already covered. Obviously, you guys don't need to go to that link. You're already covered, and I'll see you guys in the boot camp next week. And I will keep you updated as the month goes on in little things that I hear. I'll just jump in live and give you little updates as to, you know, important little things that you need to be aware of, okay? So that's pretty cool. Judy and Bob, glad you made it so we can understand. So appreciate your generosity. Oh, thank you guys. Appreciate the feedback. So if you've got, oh, there I go again. I was about to say, if you got value from this, how do I say it? I've even given you recommendations of what to say, and Sean even put it in an awesome graphic for me in the coaching community. Thank you, Sean, for that. That was amazing. And I've even forgotten some of my suggestions. Remind me, Sean, what did I say? Drop the word value down there. It's still a big learning curve to try to change my language from this engagement baiting restriction. So we'll go with that. And hopefully that doesn't can my organic reach for this live. So yeah, no, that was really awesome. Thank you for that, Sean, again. So yeah, I will be continuing this discussion a little bit more tomorrow. So stay tuned then, same time. If you're not aware, I go live 5 days a week at exactly the same time, every day, delivering you information like this to help you grow your business online through, social media strategies. So I hope to see you guys, same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow. So have a good rest of the day, whatever part of the day it is for you. See you guys. Bye.